Sometimes there are things that we underestimate or overestimate, and that is happening each and every day. The same thing goes with niches, and we're talking long hours for years about those niches, and that topic is brand new every single week, and that is beautiful because this really adds some fresh new tones to our jobs as merch by Amazon sellers. Great trending niches. Here we are, and we are hoping you are there. And today in this video, we'll be talking again about things that probably are overlooked. Of course, today is the 4th of July, and every single one was counting on that niche on the late June or in the first day of July. That is the obvious niche, and for those reasons, we didn't talk a lot about it. To be honest, we didn't talk about this niche at all. But this gives us opportunities to find those underdogs, to find those niches, which people usually not think about when they're thinking about which niche to add to the shop. But in the end of the day, there are thousands and tens of thousands of those results on Amazon, which really means people are searching. So here we come. And the first niche isn't that fun or too many words about. You see, this is a postal worker short. And in the end of the day, that is the very regular niche about what? Of course, about professions. We've talked a lot about such different professions, and you really have to have some strategy because you can work with professions from very different angles. Probably you want to build a tree of professions or some qualities and then to work part by part, bench by bench with those professions, names, because just for doctors and nurses, you can literally spend the whole year round creating those designs. The postal worker could not have that amount of searches and sales. That is how we are here, just 1,000 of results, and that is perfectly fine. A small niche where you have to upload the best couple of the designs. Of course, not all of those searches and results are exactly about these keywords. So it's probably 100 or so designs. And if you do want to go big and to test all your designs which you do have, you can literally do this for every single profession or similar strategy niche. You can do this. Upload all your designs you have. Do you have 5? Upload 5. Do you have 10? Upload 10. Don't think that you have tomorrow results, tomorrow sales. Things could go good, things could go wrong depending when you upload your designs, what is on your designs, how many you upload of them. Things are not guaranteed, and this is the beauty of our job. When we're talking about our niches and designs, this is very important to eliminate losers. Let's say that we do have winners which we finally upload, and we do have losers which are staying just on our computers, not being seen by public, not being published, and of course not being sold. And that is, I think, each and every one of us do have those processes because your time is precious and it is exact. If you do have an hour a day to work with your designs, niches, and somewhat, that is it. You don't have more time, you don't have more potential time because that is it, period. And if you do have more time on weekends or just in some days, that is good. You can do your job even bigger and in a better way. We end the page transport short, and while we're talking about those eliminations, losers, winners, we are not on some game. It's not any competition, but to be honest, it is. Because the whole thing that is going on here in the search is the competition itself. And when you see those 50,000 of results, and you see the keyword is transport short, the first thing that should come in your mind is what I'm gonna do, how am I going to win? And in the end of the day, you do have to find your winners. You do have to believe that your design will win this competition, because on the prior niche and lots of niches, we do have that couple of thousands of results, and we are competing with less people, with less designs. And here, we really need to think first how we're going to win this. Because in the end of the day, just uploading for uploading, it doesn't work. You have to have a strategy. You have to understand what you're doing, why, because otherwise you'll not get it. Why this niche is selling, why that niche you have no sales, and you don't get it, what's going on. So as you understand, as of now, we will not talk a lot about this niche. You see, there are colors, green and white. As for any diseases niches, it's not just a diseases niche. It's more huge niche than just the disease, because this is kind of like support niche, and that is the beauty. And you see that this is just a couple lines from the very beginning, and we do have real BSRs. We do have new products here, and that is a good sign that we could compete here, not just with brands or bestsellers, and that is good. Let's talk just in a couple of words about this niche. You see, this is an eggplant short, and as lots of thoughts are about these eggplant, we really need to understand that we have not only just eggplants, we have tomatoes, cucumbers, corn, and all of the other fruits and vegetables. That is how things are going on. People just buying that. Why? Who knows? For us, that is not that important. We really need just to get the vibe, because this is why people would choose your product. They do get the vibe of your design, and that is what the whole today's world is about. And again, one more small niche, which is already niche down niche, that is hitchhiking short. So what do we think about hitchhiking? First, you do have to write this word properly. Don't forget anything in spelling, because yes, Amazon would show it otherwise, because they know what you want to say, even if you have a mistake in the word, but in the end of the day, spell it right. And secondly, we are talking about little travels, and you see all of those designs are in retro style, just wording. So going places and seeing places. So you understand that probably you will not work with people who are hitchhiking. In my opinion, those people who would buy those shorts are people who are just dreaming to hitchhike, or they just love those moody films about travels or hitchhiking. And probably they just watched some movie some time ago, and that is fresh in their memory. So This is a hard niche to understand whom you are selling your product. But in the end of the day, as it has been said, that is just about vibe. If your product is vibing, that is good enough. And here we are talking about monstrosity. For me, that is a monster niche. Why? Because this is so hard to get it right, to get it done. And our strategy of having winning designs and losers designs, it would be really handy here because when you do have, like for example, 50 designs, you know that you want to do good and you want to do great. Most of those designs would be just redone, upgraded designs you already have. And when you look at those 50 designs, when you look at those search of 50,000 of results of those, you see very successful APA sellers, you see people spend a lot of as money, and you really want to be there. You want to be right, and you want to upload things which would give you some of the results. And with such niches, it's really hard to stop panicking and to pick the right designs to upload. And you see that somehow someone with this barbecue grilling daddy shorts, funny daddy of the patio, did that just right. You understand that that is a new design. You see that that is very popular. So somehow it is doable. And you really have to find that spark and to find your strategy that would work, because not all the designs would be bought for that. Not all of the products would be just about grilling. You see that there are pork, smoke, lots of other things that are really related, and you sometimes need to understand how to mix a couple of niches. And it's not just about the design, it's also about those keywords which you have to make right. And you have to understand what you're doing, because otherwise you just have an average results, and that is not what we are here about. So a couple more sponsored shorts. You see that funny BBQ, communists, man grilling gift. You see that those designs and those subniches, they are completely from other worlds. And you see that BSRs are quite also real. Grill Master and Nap Champion, all in one. So those things, especially for dads, you will see pics also for Father's Day if you do have such keywords like this guy here. So that is a great idea to think about. And if you want to talk more about trendy niches, or especially about our base of our shops, evergreen niches, join me in those videos.